Heidi and Steve Olive here. We are on day 15 of our gratitude challenge, and we just wanted to check in with you guys and see how you're doing, see what kind of things you're grateful for. If you've been following along with the gratitude challenge, you know that we're grateful for all kinds of things every single day, and that doesn't stop with this gratitude challenge. We're grateful for things 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and you can be grateful no matter what your circumstances look like. You can be grateful if you have no home. You can be grateful for the fact that you are outdoors all the time.
True.
You can be grateful if you don't have a car, because you can be grateful that you're getting exercise when you're walking everywhere. You can be grateful if you have a sickness that you don't have more sickness in your body than you already do. You can be grateful if you have $0 in the bank, because it can only get better and you can only get richer from there.
Now you're talking, girl.
So, Steve, I want you to talk a little bit about maybe the science of gratitude and just lay it on us.
Lay it on you, huh?
Yep.
Well, let me tell you something about how your subconscious mind works. What's up, Jason Mitchell? So, your mind, right, your subconscious mind is what probably 90%, 95% of your daily actions, your habits, things that you do without thinking about it subconsciously. These things that you would do on automatic pilot, right? You don't have to think about, say, digesting your food, right? You don't have to think, okay, I'm going to try really hard to digest that cheeseburger I just ate or those vegetables. It all does it basically without your conscious mind needing to think about it. It does it on its own. So your subconscious mind, it's directing and guiding most of us. And most of us, we have these stories that are playing in our head. I'm not good enough. If I don't make such and such amount of money, then I'm not worth anything, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of this is, portrayed by the media. You ain't good enough unless you own this car or this new
social
this.
construct. It's something we're ingrained with since the day we're born.
If you live in a place, America for sure it's ingrained. I'm sure other parts of the world, maybe not so much in a third world country where there's poverty, the image thing probably isn't as severe, just because it takes money to buy stuff, and this is a consumer culture. But, so your mind, your subconscious mind will literally accept anything, and I mean anything, you tell it. It is like an empty computer, basically. Meaning it's not empty, but, like Google, whatever you type in, that's what it looks. So if you go to Google search and say, find tattoos, geometric tattoo sleeves, it's not going to send up, tribal sleeves. It's going to give you geometric tattoo sleeves, right? So if you want full color, space scenes, that's what it's going to give you. It's not going to give you realism portraits of women's faces, right? So your computer, or your subconscious mind, is a lot like a computer, right? So if you tell yourself, because other people have told you, hey, you're not worthy of having this amount of money or these good things, or you don't deserve to have a good relationship because you've been divorced and you ruined one, so why would why would anybody love you again, so you're not worthy of this, you're not worthy of that, whatever the record on repeat, scratching and playing in your head, whatever that is, it can be changed, right? And so when you speak, your own voice is more powerful than anybody else's voice. So when you say something, to or about yourself, every cell, which you have trillions of cells, every cell in your body listens. So not just your ear, but literally your body hears and feels what you're saying and takes direction, right? And so why gratitude is so important is because literally when you start talking about things that you're grateful about, it changes your subconscious beliefs, right? And it doesn't do it in 2 seconds. It doesn't do it overnight, right? But you literally create new neural pathways in your mind, and you're forging new neural pathways when you are being grateful, right? And so, this is why we did this 30-day challenge, is because
21 days.
or I'm sorry, 21 days. For us, it's every day, and it's going to be every day regardless, And not because we're like some experts at it, but it's something that needs to be practiced.
It's become a habit in
all
our
the
lives,
time.
and it's the best habit that we've formed in all of our lives, honestly.
I mean, literally, gratefulness enhances absolutely everything in your life. It enhances your relationships. It enhances your financial life, right? In just supernatural ways that you don't even expect, right? And so, I mean, literally, when you're grateful, then what you do is basically you expand area for more things to be grateful for. And that's just the way it works. So you're literally like expanding good things to come into your life when you're grateful. And when you're ungrateful, you're doing the same thing, right? Except the opposite. So, you know, and I used to valet park, I say many tattoos ago, because they would never give me a job there now. When I was 18 at this rich, super elite Jewish country club in South Florida in Lake Worth. Now it was so elite and so rich that when somebody else came up, you know, and I was working there for about a week, but this guy pulled up probably, you know, 30 years old, and he had a BMW, and he probably made $100,000 a year or something, you know, thought he was hot shit. And he pulls up, you know, then he says, "Oh, how much for a membership here?" And all the valet's work just busted out gut laughing, and literally just laughed at him until he like drove away, embarrassed. Like, and the reason that was is because, you know, not only was it a Jewish country club, and you pretty much had to be like fathered in, but the membership fees alone just to golf was $100,000 a year, and that didn't even include coffee, breakfast, a pastry, nothing, right? And, you know, these people like J&B from J&B Liquors, I mean, every one of them had, you know, probably 5 to 10 houses in different states. They all had a Rolls Royce, a Lexus, you know, a Mercedes. I mean, you know, anything and everything they want, right? Financially that you could possibly buy. With the exception of maybe 2 or 3 members out of all the ones I serve, some of the most miserable, unhappy people that you would ever want to be around. Amazing to me that you could have that much money and, you know, be unhappy, but that was the case. And, you know, be ungrateful. So some guy would come out, you know, pissed off because he lost some money in a card game, you know what I mean? And here's a guy that is a multi-millionaire and lost $1,000 or something and let it ruin his day, you know. So obviously it's not finances, just having cash or things isn't really true happiness. Now don't get me wrong, like I believe in the saying, like, you know, I'd rather cry in a Mercedes than a Ford Escort, you know what I mean? Or, you know, a Lamborghini than a, you know what I mean, a beater piece of crap, for sure. But here, the deal is, when you're grateful, you start to change yourself, right? From the inside out. And, you know, if you could be happy, no matter what the circumstance, that's what true happiness is. So gratefulness teaches you to be grateful when things are going bad, you know, when sickness is hitting you, when unexpected death, you know, friend or family member. It's stuff like this when you have a lifestyle of trained gratefulness, that instead of just immediately going to complain, because that's what you've done for, you know, years, and I'm not throwing stones because I've done it for most of my life. Most people are just ignorant. They're not bad people. They're just not aware of how powerful, you know, our words are, and how powerful that we are creators. You know, you literally are creators. So you actually create your life and your lifestyle. So when you're grateful, you're just saying, oh man, like I'm so thankful. Like our Lexus SUV, 215,000 miles, 500 on this thing. Best car we've ever owned. Literally nothing but changed the oil. We put 95,000 miles on it in 3 years. Drove this thing all over the country. All day when I drive this thing, constantly, I'm just saying, this is such a good car. I'm so grateful for this car. This is the best running car ever. I love this car. I love how comfortable it is. I love how it drives. You know what I mean? Why? It's true. It's not like a legalistic thing I'm trying to do so I'll be more grateful, or so the car won't break down. It's not like some weird trick, you know? When you start out, you literally may not feel you have anything to be grateful for. You know what I mean? You may just feel that everything's going bad in your life, right? But I can guarantee that if you're even breathing right now, then that's something to be grateful for, you know? And, you know, things could be worse and things could be better in life. So why not just choose to enjoy where you're at in life, enjoy the journey, be grateful for who and what you are, because you're amazing and you're awesome and you can freaking change the world. Most importantly, you can change your world, right? And the greatest way to change the world and to change other people around you is to change yourself. I believe Socrates said something to know yourself, you know? And I bet all the great thinkers and spiritual leaders, all of them, you know, they would talk about knowing yourself, you know? And I believe that's because there is no separation and we're all connected. So if I can change myself to love myself and accept myself, see my flaws and not be blind to it, not be like an ignorant idiot about it and just be like, oh, deal with it. But, you know, and not to be so introspective that you're so negative all the time trying to find flaws. I don't do that. But you realize, like, okay, you know, I'm not exactly where I want to be in life. But then you recognize, hey, I've come a long way. You know, I've got a lot of good qualities. Yeah, there's some things I could change or work on, but I am working on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, rather than focusing on how far you have to go, focus on how far you've already come.
Exactly.
And that'll lead you to gratitude.
Right.
And I loved your analogy about the computer and like Googling. That's a really good analogy of your subconscious mind. And you can program it with anything you want.
Anything. I mean, literally, yeah.
If you're constantly in a state of ungratefulness, then that's your program. And that's what you're going to get out. That's everything you put in is going to come back as the program of negativity and the program of ungratefulness. And if you have an attitude of gratefulness, then you're literally going to get gratitude out of everything you put into that computer of your subconscious mind. So, anyway.
It's all, I mean, everybody, you know, in the Bible, you know, you reap what you sow, right? Life and death is in the power of the tongue. You know, everything is energy. Nikola Tesla, I mean, proved that back in, like, you know, early 1900s, predicted the cell phone in detail, you know what I mean, when the TV wasn't even invented, right? So we're all energy. So you can feel somebody who's a negative person. You literally can feel the energy before they even open their mouth. You can just look at them and really actually sense it, right? So a person that's super negative, you know? And so same thing with somebody who's positive and grateful. They come into a room and their light literally, you know what I mean, like just shines up the room, and they can take, you know, a bunch of people that are depressed and complaining and change the atmosphere. And the reverse is true. You know, somebody who's negative can come in, you know, we all know people like that, and that are just be a downer. And a lot of people, you know, maybe don't want to tell them, you know, and they're just, I don't like being around so-and-so because they're always negative, you know what I mean? And obviously on Facebook, you got those people that just complain about every little thing and put all their mail out there, you know what I mean? And so, to me, I don't do that because, number one, I don't want to bring attention and focus to something negative in my life that is happening, because what you draw attention to and what you give attention to grows. It's like a flower that you're watering, and like a plant. And, you know, so something bad happens in your life and you just say, oh, this is so horrible, oh my gosh, and you just focus and talk about it and get on the phone and tell everybody, all your girlfriends and guy friends, about how horrible life is treating you. You know, I mean, then literally you turn a molehill into a mountain. That's what happens, you know, because we're so powerful and we are creators and we can have whatever we want. And so when I say whatever we want, I literally mean whatever we want. So I love studying like the subconscious mind, reading numerous books, you know, about it. And here's the bottom line.
Sorry, we lost you for a second. But I was going to say, our atoms are literally, people used to think that atoms were these solid things, but really they're way more energy than they are anything else. The matter is a very small part of an atom, and it's mostly energy. So, and this is scientific, you know, like everything in the universe is made up of energy. And so if there is a way to alter that energy, then wouldn't you want to do that?
And to direct the energy, which you can also do, you know?
I also wanted to mention, I forget the doctor's name, but I believe it was in the 1970s, maybe, a Japanese doctor, maybe Japanese, I don't know all the details, but if you look it up, you'll be able to find it really easily. But I read this book like 12 years ago that talked about a doctor who actually wanted to experiment with the effects of words on water. Okay? And he wrote blessings on paper and put them over the jars of water. And then he wrote curses on paper and put those on the jars of water. And he left them to sit overnight, and when he came back, he inspected these molecules of water under a microscope. And there's no other way to say it, but the water that had blessings written on it was beautiful. The molecules, the shapes were amazing. The water that had the curses written on them were literally just like ugly molecules. They were like distorted and really gross looking. And it literally just, it proved that your words affect matter and chemicals.
On a cellular level,
Yeah.
not just like
On a molecular level.
Metaphorically affect,
Right.
no, literally affect on a cellular level.
If you think about it, your body is made up of anywhere from 75 to 95% water. So if you're blessing yourself daily and blessing the things around you daily, how much more of a blessing are you going to receive from that than if you are ungrateful and just basically not saying nice things? So anyway, that's just a little example, and we wanted to share that little tidbit of our experience and knowledge with you guys today. And it's day 15 of this gratitude challenge. It's not too late to start, and we'll definitely keep going with it, obviously after the challenge is over even, but we encourage you guys to do the same.
Yeah.
So, and hi to everybody who said hi. Sorry that we didn't connect one-on-one with you guys on this one, but we really appreciate you guys watching and liking and sharing this video if it helped you in any way.
And it is gorgeous, by the way. 75 degrees outside. Oh my gosh. We're headed to the car dealership because old Bearded Badger's never drove a Dodge Magnum, and he's about to go test drive one right now because it's my dream car. I don't know why they stopped making them. I think you couldn't make a station wagon any cooler, but anyways, for some whatever reason, I've always just loved them, and there's one 40 miles away from us, so I figured I'm just going to test drive it or whatever. It's actually a 2006 with 68,000 miles. Not even to buy it or anything, just because I was always curious. So, and then we're gonna walk outside, find some naturey place because it's just gorgeous. And Heidi's like, I don't even want to be inside today. And I was like, well, we don't have to, So yeah, we're gonna enjoy this amazing spring weather, and we're gonna be grateful for it.
Yeah.
Because it's awesome. And I was even grateful for the cold winter weather that I don't necessarily prefer as much as this weather, because I was like, hey, this is a good time. We put some logs on the fire and snuggle on the couch. That's what we did and enjoyed that, Be thankful that we have a roof over our head when it's cold, You can always find something to be thankful for no matter what. Always.
Cool. We love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we will talk again soon.
Have an awesome day.